Yes, indeed, we had to face two tremendous and different crises, the pandemic and now the war. These two different crises have something in common, which is, I think, they are challenging the globalization as it is now, which doesn't mean that the globalization is dead. I think this could be a very premature and wrong analysis, but that we need a little bit more secure globalization. And secure means to have stronger geopolitical influence and capacity in the European role, and to a little bit shorten or make more secure our supply chains. So this, I think, is the way we have to address the challenges that we will have, because of course there is a challenge now coming from the war. But in the coming 10-20 years, a larger one will continue, which is the challenge between two different models of advanced economy, the autocratic and the democratic one. And this is the relation with China.
The problem I see is that Ursula von der Leyen and Jean-Michel yesterday were talking to President Xi, and President Xi was talking to those two, but I didn't think they were talking a language anywhere near each other. It seemed they were almost talking over each other about different visions of the future, different visions of the world.
For sure, there were, so to say, parallel messages going in these kind of talks. And behind there is a strategic divergence on the models that we support. But at the same time, there is a common interest in the reality, which is the interest for Europe, the bigger trade superpower in the world, and of China, a growing power building his strength on trade, on the globalization, on the external economic relation. So there is a mutual interest in keeping this kind of relation more controlled but alive. So I think that behind the parallel messages there was for sure a strategic confrontation, but also a tactical common interest to keep this alive.
Is China trying to split the EU and the US, which has finally found a lot of accord after some tricky times under the previous administration?
Well, could be, as always, not in a very open way. This is not how the Chinese are working. But I think they are aware that this is not something that will happen, and they take note of the situation. They are very well informed. And
Commissioner, let's get back to the economy as well. Can Europe survive these dual crises and the emerging crisis of the inflationary threat as well?
Well, the good thing is that we entered this crisis 5 weeks ago in a good footing. And we were estimating for this year a 4% growth. This will slow down, for sure, but the carryover of the previous situation of how our economy went in 2021 will stay, and I think that we are not running a risk to enter in negative territory overall in 2022. We will have a lower level of growth. Then, of course, for the future, there are 2 or 3 things very important to understand: how long will the war last for? Second, will the sanction dynamics include also oil and gas coming from Russia? This could also change the landscape. And third, how all this will impact on the confidence of investors and consumers. At the end of the pandemic, the high level of confidence was incredible. Savings accumulated, companies wanting to invest, how much this will be decreasing because of the new crisis. And this is why I think we have to reassure our citizens, our business people, that yes, we will slow down in our growth, but we are not entering in a recession.